Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Waltons review where we got the Fawn. With me, I got Resolute Germ. How are you doing?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Eh, there's a reason it's called Fried A instead of Friday. It's Fried A.
That
Nothing.
probably has an entirely different meaning in Minnesota.
Where's the? I'm gonna have to ask Pop to send me that face palming one. How are you, PvP?
No, not too bad. Not too bad. It's always nice to have the weekend here and be able to relax a little bit. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think fried egg could have a different meaning up here in Canada, though, girl.
Well, like your brain's fried from a long week.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like maybe if you smoked a bit of reefer or something and you were fried and you were like, hey,
Maybe
okay,
in Canada.
silly joke. Yeah.
Oh, that's because up there in Canada, you guys always go "a" after every sentence.
Actually, we used to do it more than we do now. You don't hear it as often anymore. Actually,
We finally beat it out of you.
I just people just I guess people just they just don't say it. I mean, times change. And hi, Suzanne, by the way.
Hey, welcome, Suzanne. Welcome. We'll be
Hey,
getting started
Suzanne.
here. We'll get started with the episode here in a minute. But you notice though, I changed the banner there. We're getting professional. Instead of my usually "fuck you, Warner Brothers," I actually got something a little bit more professional.
Ah, so you're not blatantly antagonizing a major studio.
Great.
You actually might want
Good
to
move.
separate. You might want to separate our view though, because you've got it as one word there, girl.
Oh,
I just noticed since you pointed it out. But that's
yeah, it
no
still gets us.
no
Yeah,
worries. No, it's not an issue really. But
yeah.
I'm just being nitpicky.
I'd have to delete. Oh, I suppose I can edit. I can
I
remove
don't worry
it.
about it. It's
Edit.
fine for today.
It just takes a second.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's not too much trouble, then
Right there. There, is that better? Your
yeah,
OCP stop acting
much
up?
better. That looks good. That looks good now. That looks
All
good.
right. Yeah, but Nick, if they wanted to sue me, and take the house, but take the garbage with you. So, there's a lot of numbers, so I already got my inflation calculator ready. So,
So the fawn.
You're
yeah,
ultra prepared today.
yeah. I don't know what the hell happened, but
Taking
of
your
course
Ritalin?
I don't know, but we quit popcorn sales early tonight because we only ran into three houses where people were actually home there out of like 12 of them. It's like, okay, it's Friday night, it's homecoming, and that I don't know if homecoming is big for you guys in the cities or not, but it's big around here.
Never heard of it actually up
Yeah,
here, but I guess that's a
It's a
different
high
thing.
school thing.
yeah, it's high
Okay.
school. It's the big game. It's the biggest game. We have more people go to the homecoming than we do go to when we make it the
Oh,
state
okay.
tournament.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I
But
went to a school of perpetual losers, so it was never a big deal.
yeah, then we got our last. And it's gonna be one of our last probably good weekends for a while. Or summer's ending, so people are just not home tonight.
Actually, didn't summer end? Like we're in autumn now officially, are we not?
Okay, what? Yeah, it's 80 goddamn degrees out right now. Now, and
Well, you can always
we
have a
got
nice.
severe storms still popping up, so it's still summer.
Uh, well, yeah. Sometimes early autumn can feel like summer. I remember sometimes even to go like maybe 3 weeks into October and still feel pretty warm. So which is nice. Been getting
Oh
cool
yeah,
at night though. Been getting cool at night here.
yeah. Well, hopefully we get. I don't want to get too cold too fast right now tonight because that temperature drops. We're in for one hell of a window rattler. We already got storms moving in.
Oh, jeez.
They're up north of us, they're having some good $50 size hail.
Ouch.
But now, should we get this started?
Sure, might as well.
Oh, let's see. We got one more. Oh, it's just Streambots. All right. So we'll start with our prologue. As close knit and self sufficient as our family was, still, neighbors were very important in those days when we were growing up on Walton's Mountain. There were families like ourselves struggling to keep the land we owned, and there were tenant farmers at the mercy of the weather, crop prices, and absentee landlords. Alrighty.
If you're lucky, you got an absentee landlord.
Well, can you even call this guy a landlord?
Slumlord.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
he's
I
a
think.
slum.
Yeah.
Now,
Directed by Ralph Waite. That was cool.
does anybody have any hot takes for this episode before we get going?
John Boy lucky he didn't end up at the end of a rope.
Well, there's one line. Well, I will say there is one line in this episode here that I will say gives it an automatic A. I think we all know which one we're talking about. But anyhow, this is Ralph Waite's first episode he directed of the Waltons. I think he'll go on to direct 12 episodes. So 16 episodes.
Wow.
16 episodes. So this is the first one. You can tell by a lot of the camera shots that he did a lot of different angles with the camera. They're all off to the school. There. Then nice mentions up about it. Harold's walking by like a creepy stalker, only out in the open there, as he's watching Erin. Then we get the Littlefields here. Oh man, the olden days back then, when you didn't actually have road numbers, they actually just had route numbers. We used to have that there when people would say they're out on Route 3 and stuff. It's like, where the hell's that? Hell's that?
They still got that in a lot of places.
No, it changed station. You might still recognize Route 1, Route 2, Route 3, through whatever. But every house has an actual legit address now for emergency services, because there was a couple of times when there was either a fire or they needed ambulance services, and they got lost because of the route number.
Yeah, they still do that up here in some places.
And yeah, well, here in Minnesota, they changed it. Every road has a name, and there's an actual system to it. So, anyhow, Littlefields here, I have to move out because they couldn't afford their taxes. So they're going to have to go to a place where they're going to have to spend even more money paying rent. So how much cheaper can you really get than rural Virginia? I mean, you can't get much more cheaper. But yeah, they also buy.
I'm sure rural Antarctica is pretty cheap.
No, I suppose that's back before anybody is allowed to go. Cause right now, it is very hard to get access to Antarctica. You have to get a special permit. You are allowed to go, but you have to get a special permit, because the reason for is they want to keep Antarctica as like one of the least blasted areas on Earth that's been touched by man. Now there's an island out in the middle of the South Atlantic that they can move to that'd be pretty cheap. Except they wouldn't get anything for 3. It takes 3 months to get there. What the heck's that island in South Atlantic?
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not. I'm not up on my remote islands.
Probably just a barren rock. There's also the Marshall Islands, which
No,
are about 6 months from everybody.
no. That's the Marshall Islands. No, this island has like 134. Or no, wait, it's like it's either like 53 or 153 people on the island, but it's 1,500 miles from the nearest land.
Jeez.
It's the farthest piece of land inhabited. It's like the farthest place on Earth if you want to get away from people. That's the farthest that you have to go there to actually get away from people. But there is
As
some
long as
people on it.
as long as you get along with 152 other people that are there, I guess you'd be okay, right?
Hey, there's a reason shotguns have been invented.
Oh man.
Yeah, and they're saying how awful it must be to pack up everything.
Well, I guess that's one thing. I guess the Waltons actually own their home. I assume, right, in the series. Like I never hear of them
Yes.
having to pay rent, so
Well,
they're very fortunate.
we dealt with that episode in season 1 there with the deed.
Oh well, that's before I popped on, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah. Logging company claimed rights to it because they didn't go and register it with was it the Homestead Act?
Oh yeah.
I can't recall offhand.
Yeah, I think it was the Homestead Act. They did not go in and register their land, so it's called unincorporated land in Virginia. So the logging company went and took claim to it, and the Waltons really had to go pay 200 some bucks for to go tell the court to tell the logging company to fuck off.
So they had to pay money to like claim the title or whatever kind of deal, I guess.
Claim the deed, yeah.
Yeah.
Now this year, I'm just gonna play a snippet of it. We're not allowed to play games like this anymore, where they're all just on top of each other like in Marco Polo, and just sit there and push each other.
Yeah, they probably never allow that on a playground these days.
Yeah, that's not a game. They're beating the shit out of them.
Yeah, we're not even allowed to play dodgeball no more. It's like when I was going through school, nothing was more satisfying than hearing rubber hit the face of someone you didn't like.
Yeah. They still have dodgeball out here. Unfortunately, they retired those nice rubber balls and they have the small, cheap Nerf balls.
Yeah, well, like we got dodgeball with the rubber balls here, but the cities, they took it away. They took it all away.
Well, the whole point of dodgeball is you want to dodge it because if you don't, it hurts, right? So when they turn everything into Nerf, it kind of takes away the meaning of the game, really.
Well, the dodgeball ball there too was a great aggression reliever. You know, just throw a ball at somebody you didn't like and help it smack them in the face. The same with Red Rover. I don't know how many ass chewings and detentions we served for clotheslining people. You remember Red Rover, don't you, PvP?
I don't think I ever played that, actually. I don't
Where
think
you stand in two lines all holding hands, then Red Rover, send whoever over, like John over, then they run across to try to break your hands apart. And if you could hold your hands together, they stayed on your side. They broke them apart. They took someone to the other side, and the lines would either get smaller. One line would either get bigger, and the other one smaller, or vice versa.
I've heard of it, but it was never a thing up here, really.
Then if you had someone come over that you didn't like, you quickly raise your arm at the last second, and they'd run run their neck right into your arms, and then snap their heads back and they fall over.
Nice.
That was never a problem here. What they did here is at the last minute, kids would accidentally trip and lean over to one side and kneecap somebody.
Oh, I thought maybe their foot would actually go up and it just accidentally go between people's legs.
No, they targeted knees. One kid blows out his freaking ACL at the age of like 8 or 10, whatever it was, and no more Red Rover for anybody.
Yeah. No, ours was we just clotheslined him. It's a lot harder to prove.
Hey, Daniel.
Hello, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel. Welcome. So, yeah, so they're all bouncing around, pushing each other. And Erin had some present for him. And she was just asking to get mocked and laughed at here because she gave it to him in front of all the boys there. He opens it up, and it's just,
Aren't you going to open it?
oh, wait, they got taken.
Yeah, I don't know why Erin
was just
picked that
hanky with
particular moment. She couldn't have had worse timing,
Hey,
really.
I will say though, this is the first episode we've had a lot of Erin that she's not insufferable.
That's true.
But anyhow, it's a hanky that she embroidered his initials on. That the boys were all making fun of her, and then he cops out and goes, "Oh, my back," and scurries off like a little rat.
I do not get what she sees in this guy because he seems like a bit of a jackass, to be honest.
Well, he's helpless, and
yeah,
she likes the helpless type that she can hold on to and take care of and not let go anywhere.
So
wait, she's a dominatrix?
Oh, jeez.
I wouldn't go that far. She's just gonna lock him up. And...
Thank you for putting that image of Erin in my mind, Gorilla. That's going to hang in there for a while.
Lord, that wasn't right.
Hey, Lemon, you walked into something. You walked in at a very unfortunate point.
Lord, that
Erin
wasn't right. I apologize.
That's a good one. I'm visualizing that right now. It's kind of entertaining, actually.
No, but that's so wrong because I don't even know how
wrong.
old they are in this episode.
Yeah, she's a little bit too young for sure. Yeah.
What happened? That kid tried to carry PVB's latest eggnog purchase.
Oh no, he's not quite in traction yet.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
That's gonna be one of the longest running jokes in the whole community now. Thanks to Lemon keeping that one alive. Oh boy.
No, it's okay.
I
Got
enjoy it,
nothing
though.
on some other stuff.
Gives me a good laugh. But yeah, I guess that's hence the main plot line in this episode is Erin likes creatures that are kind of helpless.
Yeah.
As long as she doesn't cross the line and make them helpless.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so we don't get the movie Misery.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
As long as she doesn't cross that misery line, she's good.
That would not actually fit in with the Waltons generally. I would say a misery storyline. Yeah.
Oh man. So Erin's like something. You don't notice that John Boy's just sitting back there staring, and Erin's actually gonna do something. Was gonna do something. But it's like they're trying to get it back, you know. Oh, and she even wrote a note. She called him Sir Knight to blow his nose. This had to have been the corniest poem, but yet it was a sweet poem type deal that she gave to him. Yeah, and Scurvy here says the joke reaches an anniversary sometime in October.
Yeah, it's coming up soon.
Hey, sorry. Kid wants to steal the rest of my pop.
Uh-oh.
Can I have some?
So, then Mary Ellen's just like, come on, let's go. All right. then Erin's just brooding away, and they're talking about it at the dinner. And this is where they mention what's his face, Graham Foster's looking for a rent collector. Oh, and yeah, Mary Ellen's gonna go talk to her. You notice that your mom, that Mama didn't have to go tell her, hey, go talk to Erin, cheer her up. Mary Ellen actually took the initiative on her own to go cheer her sister up.
Well, she's learning. Mom and Grandma don't have to poke her as much.
Yeah, she's probably getting tired of being poked by Mom and Grandma, so she's taking the initiative for a change.
Yeah. Oh, this is a great look on Mama.
looks like she's about to doze off.
No, she looked like, hey man, that was some great dish food you found there, John. Can you go grab me some more? Well, that was some fine dandy stuff you had there. But
actually, if I had a table full of food like they're just consumed, I'd probably get sleepy too, to be honest. There's some pretty good looking food on that table.
Yeah. Well, they're basically saying if the depression lasted any longer, that Graham Foster would own half the country.
Yeah, he's not a very attractive character in this episode. I actually found the John Boy plot line a lot more interesting, actually. I wish
did they ever mention how much that? Yeah, did they ever mention how much that encyclopedia was?
I don't think so, actually, Gorilla. I don't think there was.
I don't recall.
Figure. I just remember him saying he would finally be able to afford it, getting his employment. So, but I don't think there was any dollar figure mentioned.
Yeah.
I imagine in those days, like encyclopedias back then were pretty pricey, I would think.
I suppose I could Google it.
Don't bother.
Nah, it's no big deal.
Trust it's under the amount of money he actually ended up making.
It would have been totally different 1930s dollars anyway. So.
Yeah. Scurvy says, PvP, you should rifle through your financial statements to find what day it was.
Actually, I don't keep my receipts that long. Actually, Lemon.
Yeah. So here the boys are actually collecting runts. Wait, they're going to do something. I can't remember what they're going to do.
Berry picking.
Oh, I suppose that's what the blankets are for. To pick them up. And Mary Ellen's still dreaming of old Harold Beasley there. She go, come with us, get your mind off, or stop worrying about him. She's telling her to come along. Alrighty, so, alright. Then they're singing the song "The Bear Went Over the Mountain," so I'm guessing that was, and this was probably public domain there. I remember a similar song, but I can't remember which one it was. We used to sing on the bus, and we always changed the words.
Well, I'm guessing it might have been an actual 1930s Depression era song, so probably a good chance it's not copyrighted anymore if it ever was.
Well, I guess it was an 1800s song.
Yeah, it could be like a folk tune or something, right? Just sung by.
Yeah, it's like one of those folk tunes, kind of like "We'll be coming around the mountain when she comes." We'll be coming around, kind of like that.
Yeah, one of those traditional sort of tunes, yeah. And Harold's hanging out in a tree, being weird as usual.
Yeah, he's being.
Harold he seemed a bit off somehow to me. I don't know, watching the episode.
You never noticed that the Waltons house seems like to be like the house in the best shape?
Well, that's because Pa has the sawmill and he knows how to use tools, right? So he keeps it in good shape.
It's also
He's a
the only
handy.
one that isn't a prop house.
Yeah, well, he's a handyman. Yeah, well, it's a real house too, which helps. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got this. We got the jackass here coming to check out the place.
The
And
place that he
he,
just kicked somebody out of. Yeah.
yeah, no, he didn't kick him out. He paid the. They were moving out. They got evicted because they could not pay their taxes there, and he paid the back. So the way it works in the United States is, if you don't pay your property taxes there, what they'll do is they'll the
Put it up
county
for auction or whatever.
yeah, the county will claim your house there, and depending on what your state is, they'll either the person who pays the back taxes on it can assume ownership of the house, or they'll auction it off to the highest bidder,
Right.
depending on who. Either that, or they could see who will pay the back taxes on it, and if nobody comes forward, then they'll put it up for auction. It varies from state to state. It's a state and county matter.
But anyway, the basic idea is our slumlord here basically got the property for himself so he can rent it out at ridiculously high rental fees and screw people over.
Yeah. And Scurvy here says, "Well, I can make an educated guess. I'll do my research."
Go for
Here, it says, "Would it be fair to assume it was a Saturday,
I have
October
no idea.
15th or 22nd are candidates?"
I'd
Could
say
be.
somewhere around the third week of October. I'd be guessing is when it'll hit the store shelves, but
Yeah.
you never know.
And it was on Pop Stream that I first remember it announced. Either that or Jill Stream.
Gosh.
And he says, "I retain the right to choose a day and declare it." That's what we did with our cats for their birthdays. We just chose a day.
Sure, why not?
All right.
Yeah,
So
I find this storyline much more interesting. I wish this is the B story. I wish they'd actually made it into the A story because this character, this shady, guy that owns all these properties he's a real scumbag basically, and
yeah, but
I thought he was quite interesting.
But if they would have done more with the story, would you have liked it as much? I thought it was a good amount to make him look. You got the feeling he was a jackass there and everything we learned.
I just thought there was more story that could have gone into maybe a more intricate storyline with John Boy, because John Boy always has potential to have an interesting story written around him, right? And personally, I found the Erin storyline kind of bland, to be honest. I didn't think much of it.
I don't know. It was the first episode. She wasn't insufferable, but we'll get. But he's going to ask for the rental collector's job. He pretty much said, "I want someone a bit older." But he goes, "I'm a good worker. I'll have Sheriff Briggs, and I'll have like Godsey and someone else." He said, "Give him references."
Yeah, he's talking to a scumbag about character references, which I thought was pretty hilarious, actually.
Yeah.
like this guy has.
And his top recommendations are guys that hate him.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, just look at that smug look on his face.
Oh, they picked a really good actor. He played a slumlord, butthole to a T.
Yeah.
Like he really was good.
He does a lot of those roles, apparently.
And finding new tenants for farms, such as this.
Yeah, just that look there, he gave like this even he knows this place is a piece of shit.
Yeah, and like any slumlord, he could care less about.
If you need, I can get your recommendation.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, this is the last scene I want.
It's for Mike Godsey and Sheriff Bridges and Reverend Fordwick. And well, I don't know. If it doesn't work out, you could always fire me.
Yeah, right there. That's a good line. Hey, if it doesn't work, just fire my ass. Back then it's a lot easy. It's a lot easier there. You didn't have to switch your 401ks and everything else over.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, John Boy's really showing his naivety in this scene. Like, he might be a fairly wise person for his age, but he's really being quite clueless, wanting
Uh,
to work for this character.
well, he just wants the money. He's just seeing the dollar signs. He
Yeah,
gets 5%
basically.
of the rent collected, and he
Yeah.
owns half the mountain, pretty much.
He
But
doesn't seem to realize, though, what collecting rent is all about, because sometimes it ain't a happy process. I would hate to be a rent collector, actually.
I wouldn't even file for it.
Sort of like being a tax collector. They both end up hanging from the same tree.
Yeah, exactly. I would
Yeah.
not want that job.
Tell you what, I'm going to put you on trial. I'm going to speak to Ike and the sheriff. They better give you a good report. Well, thank you, sir. Ordinarily, I wouldn't be considering anybody as young as
Did
you.
I pass the line?
But John Walton's
There we go.
That's something different.
Yeah, that right there, that just that look he gave. Oh shoot. Yeah, you kind of knew. Yeah, right
that look
there.
of vengeance.
Yeah.
I get the feeling he's actually thinking in his mind right now in this scene that by hiring John Boy, he'll somehow be, pissing off, John Senior, right? Because I don't think John Senior is very fond of this character.
Yeah.
No, not
Well,
at all.
you thinking I may not be able to screw over John, but his boy I can screw over real good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's young
Well-
and naive.
Well, I know what I thought when I first seen this episode.
Sure.
It's a trap!
You're gonna get a lot of mileage out of that clip, aren't you, girl?
Oh yeah, what I played like 3 or 4 times on the Lost in Space.
Probably something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Hey, it took me 45 minutes to find a decent downloadable clip until finally I had to get the green screen one there.
Green
So
screen,
I'm gonna use it.
No, why not? It's funny. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So here they're picking berries. I don't recognize these berries, though. They're raspberries. Now I can see the dots.
They must
The
be
wild
berries.
raspberries.
Wild raspberries. Yeah,
Well,
it looks like.
Yeah. True raspberries, not the. What was it that someone told me that they used for the raspberry, artificial raspberry flavoring and stuff? And I don't want to eat it ever again.
Really?
Yeah.
It's best not to think about the additives, preservatives, and Joker chemicals that are in some of those jams, jellies, and fruit roll-ups.
Yeah, I guess you any processed food, you're taking a chance on what's in it, right?
Oh yeah.
Artificial fruit, particularly.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to know what's in artificial raspberry flavoring.
I'm not a big raspberry fan anyway, so I never eat the stuff
Yeah.
personally.
Well, the ingredient is castoreum. You do not know where it's made from.
Castoreum, isn't that like some gland secretion an animal produces?
Well, let's just say it comes from a beaver, and let's
That's
just
one
say,
way. That's the all natural way to get it. The artificial way is much worse.
Yeah, beavers do produce castor, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, but not the area you don't want it to come from the area it's coming from.
Oh, I think I know the area you're talking about. I do know a little bit about beavers. I'm talking about the animal kingdom, kind of course.
Yeah, not the Porky's version of beaver.
Well, I don't want to get the stream too crazy. So, Erin as a dominatrix was enough, actually.
Yeah, yeah, BBB. I've already crossed that line.
Oh, that's okay then.
Yeah.
Such a nice wholesome day. Picking berries.
Hey, wait. Are we just doing like trading places here where Because usually it's Mary Ellen not doing a damn thing. Now it's Erin not doing a damn thing.
Well, Erin's reached that age where she's starting for the first time to understand what it means to be interested in the opposite sex. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So she's
Yeah.
She's
mooning.
so at
mooning
that
big
age where
time.
she's going crazy.
Yeah. Her
Yeah,
hormones are starting to kick in.
Yeah, Harold's making her girl part squirm, huh?
Pretty much.
Or how did they put it in Hey Arnold? There was a scene where Harold got. Oh wait, yeah, Harold's making her girl parts tingle. That's how Helga put it in Hey Arnold.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I can relate to tingling.
God, I'm going to hell for this episode alone.
A feather on the scale.
Oh, shit.
Oh man.
Oh, oh, here we get the deer.
Yeah, finally
Aaron's
the title character finally shows up in the episode.
Yeah. Roll credits. So we get the Fawn, and she walks up to it, and she takes it away from her mother. And here we got John. Oh, this is the scene I wanted to play.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I got me a job. You say? I got it. I got a job. I've been trying to figure out a new way to get this encyclopedia down at Ike's. Now I know how I can do it.
Yeah, he's so excited here. And just watch the looks on Grandpa and John here when he tells them what the job is.
What kind of a job is it, son?
Well, you're looking at the new rent collector for Mr. Graham Foster.
Smiles.
Didn't really expect to get that kind of a job.
And you can tell they know exactly what he's talking about, and they're not liking it.
They're both thinking, well, John Boy sold his soul to the devil now.
Yeah.
Basically.
Of course, it's just a trial. Really, I don't think he would have given me the job if it wasn't for our son.
Yeah, that right.
Yeah, John's like, I wonder what God prosperous up his tree.
No, John's thinking.
You know what John's
he
thinking?
Can't get to... Go ahead.
It's a trap.
Exactly. I think John's basically thinking, okay, he can't screw me, but now he's going to screw my son over, right? So.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's wrong?
I wish you'd asked me about it first, son.
I do believe he has a grudge against our family. I'd keep an eye on him if I were you, son.
Why?
Well, your daddy and I had to testify in court against that clan.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's well known around the family as being a greedy little slumlord and buying up everything.
Yeah, he's probably
From the sound of it, not just him.
Probably the whole
entire family's crooked.
Yeah, their whole clan. They call the families back then clans.
Yeah, probably half the people in the valley know that he's a scumbag, right? So yeah.
Well, at least their families weren't like the Hatfields and McCoys, which actually the Hatfields and McCoys finally signed a peace treaty here not too many years ago. They officially ended their family feud. Their family feud.
Good.
Yeah, they both realized that we're not actually related to these people anymore.
Yeah, but there hasn't been an actual like physical feud against them for decades. But they finally come to terms, apologizing to each other, pretty much.
Walton's been in on one sharp land deal after another, son, ever since they come into this county.
They'd had most of it by now if we hadn't stopped their trickery.
Suppose I do a good job at it.
Your idea and his idea might be different about what a good job is, son.
Well, look, Daddy, if you're telling me not to take this job, then I won't take the job.
I think John Boy's in for a good lesson, and that's why I don't think John will stop him.
Well, that and he doesn't
No, I'm not telling you that.
really
I just want
have the authority to tell him that you can't do it.
I
Yeah,
agree with
Ken,
Rollo.
John
I
Boy's-
think John Senior is basically saying, okay, the kid needs to learn this lesson the hard way, so I'll let him go ahead and do it.
I like the added effect that they put sawdust in his hair.
Mm. Yeah, that was very cool. It was a nice detail.
Yeah.
warn you what you're in for.
Hey, well, and if it's all the same to you, I think I'll try and see what happens.
Keep going, Pa.
Yeah. So we got a little Betsy here. That you got a few episodes ago. Then we got the Fawn. Yeah, apparently the Game Warden's up around the area. I didn't even know they had Game Wardens back then. I wonder when that came around.
They're game wardens for centuries.
Oh,
Just depends on where you're at.
okay.
The game warden was responsible for a lot of the hanging back in medieval times for people hunting the king's deer and whatnot on royal lands.
Yeah, well, I guess one of their main duties is to catch poachers, right? When they're doing something they shouldn't be doing, like they do later in this episode.
Yeah, and here this is kind of nice that they go, for heaven's sake, like I think you brought another damn animal home. But if this was modern writing, I guarantee you that the writers will put in, for fuck's sake, you brought another animal home. I guarantee that'd be modern writing.
Probably. Thank goodness this is set in the 30s, so we don't get that.
Well, it's written in the 70s here.
Yeah, but it's set in the 30s, so of course they're going to go
Yeah.
with the 30s, scenario.
Well, the writers knew how to write.
Yes.
Instead of for the quick laugh.
Yeah, well, Waltons did have humor, but it was generally fairly subtle most of the time because it was basically a drama, pretty much.
Yeah, well, it's natural humor instead of forced humor.
Exactly, real life.
Yeah, and they named it Lancelot for some damn reason.
Well, remember when
she is a very confused little girl.
Remember when Erin called her boy crush Sir Knight or whatever in her little note?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's a clue as to why she named the deer Lancelot.
So I'm guessing she's been reading up on King Arthur.
Probably.
Yeah, and they're basically saying, trying to let it go. Hey, we can't keep it. It's a wild animal. Nobody can keep them. They're telling us to go back. And basically, they don't need a damn deer. They need. They're gonna raise, because if they're gonna raise the deer, they're gonna eat the deer.
Well, yeah, actually, I was just going to say they could have just hidden the deer in the barn and fattened it up and let it live for a few years, and then they could have had a great bunch of food. But I guess probably wouldn't like that.
It'd never survive.
Oh man, I don't know. I just think. I mean, it's great to see an Erin episode for a change, but Erin just seems like she's kind of lost her marbles in this episode to me.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel.
Hi, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
Yeah. And Scurvy says, PvP, would you like me to retire the gag upon the 1-year anniversary?
Well, if you wish. I actually do enjoy your eggnog jokes, though. I think they're quite creative. So if you wish to continue them, you have my permission and blessing.
Yeah. We'll keep you going until we can no longer get laughs.
Until Lemon can no longer think up good one-liners, then it'll probably be time to retire it. But I get a feeling he's still got a bag full of in his joke bag. So
okay, this caption here doesn't look right. Did you hear what he said?
Huh?
That's what it says. Says what? We are not going to be able to keep.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna be able to keep her. Yeah, he has to go. She wants to keep him in her room, I think.
Yeah, didn't she say something about he can sleep on my bed? And Ma Walton's
Yeah.
like, no, that's not going to happen. Into the barn.
Yeah. It's kind of like when we kept the. It's kind of like when we kept the doors open. When we were kids, like, were you guys raised in the barn? Erin can't sleep, so she wanders off to go sit with. Oh, I gotta play this scene here.
All right, son.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Daddy.
Jim Bob, you study hard here.
Good.
Erin, you're not to take that deer to school.
But, Daddy, I want to show him to everybody.
It's not a toy to be paraded around.
Oh, it'll be so lonely.
You put him back in the barn.
This is a great bunch of little kids there. Then you hear the bells and the deer walking past on the four legs.
I do give Ralph Waite a lot of credit because you mentioned interesting camera angles, and I thought this one was pretty unique because I don't remember too many shots like this in the Waltons, where you have Pa, under the car fixing something and the whole family walks by. I thought that was a very creative camera shot, actually. And picture wise, it told the story quite nicely too. So I thought it was very
and
nice.
it was pretty funny too. You see him to the four legs.
It was hilarious. Yeah, it was really good.
Then he wants to take the truck there to the other side of the mountain there. And Pa gives him permission. He's been doing good on his rent collecting. Oh, he put the sign up there. Then he collects this guy. Apparently his wife's sick and all that. And he $9 of the $18 owed. So $9 was so basically 200. He gave him $206 in today's money. And then 18 that he calculates is $412 in today's money. And he's saying rent prices, and he's claiming rent prices are steep for that land that he's renting from. Oh, did you just see rent today? Now for $400, maybe. I don't know. That house is pretty dilapidated.
Oh yeah, it's a dive, basically, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's in fair condition. To be fair, there is nothing behind that front wall.
Yeah, but it has the appearance of being quite run down, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It seems like the pattern in the episode is all the properties he's renting to these folks are basically in bad repair.
Yeah.
Which becomes a major plot point later in the episode, actually.
And right here, this is John Boy's problem is he's too honest.
Mm-hmm.
Where he says he doesn't have any experience in that. I'm thinking the only reason he didn't end up at the bottom of the river there with a couple extra breathing holes was because he's John's boy. They just they knew they could tell him to fuck off and then they won't have to worry too much. Versus
since he's a Walton, people are going to be polite to him even if they can't pay the rent and they and they tell them that they can't, and that's the way it is, but they're still going to be polite.
Yeah. So, no, it's only. I think it's the only reason is because he's John's. I'm wondering if Graham Foster wasn't kind of hoping that John Boy would have gotten shot just because of what his daddy did.
I never
Probably
thought of
one.
that, but I could
I don't
see
know how
that
cynical.
scenario.
I don't know how cynical you want to be, but the Fosters have a huge grudge against them, and he gave John's son, John Boy, a job, one of the worst jobs. That it's a do-at-your-own-risk job. That's why I paid $9 an hour, which is like $213, or they paid $213
$9 a month.
What? Yeah,
It's not $9 an hour.
I mean
$9 an hour, John Boy would be rich.
Yeah, if you were getting $9 an hour back in those years, you'd be wealthy pretty fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The $213 a month for a 1-day job. So,
yeah, the money back in those days, that would have been like would have been
Yeah.
good money, but for a shitty job, right?
yeah. And he's like, he's putting the pressure on him. Go, you explain it to him. That's your job, ain't it? And people tell me ain't isn't a word.
Well, I hear enough people using it, so it must be a word.
Ain't is officially a word.
Grandma's
now.
all pissed. Yeah. And Scurvy here says hello to Daniel. And Scurvy also says I'll decide between now and the 3rd week of October.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Fair
Grandma
enough.
has every right to be pissed off because now she's got to wash all that laundry again.
Yeah. And I was like, he wouldn't do such a thing. I watched the damn thing pull it down. Don't tell me he wouldn't do a damn thing. You got to get it out of here now. So now John Boy, I know it's her. Yeah, she's saying she's not going to pay. This gal here says she's not going to pay a damn penny until he fixes the roof because the last time it had a heavy storm, they got soaked moving everything around. So basically, she's telling him to go to hell. And he says he'll talk to Graham Foster about it to get it fixed. She goes, you really think he can change his mind? Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's not really up to him to change his mind. It's something that Foster is responsible for. John Boy acts as the will of the landlord in his stead, and old Graham can't make no buts about it. If he wants to fuck people over, he has to do it himself.
Yeah. So here we got Erin.
Hey, Cody guy.
Hey, Cody guy. We're about a third of the way through our episode here.
Hi, Cody.
We've had some interesting comments tonight so far. Oh. But Aaron's like promises he won't do it again. Girls goes, I'm kidding you. He's a wild thing. So she's basically getting her ass chewed out for it. Yeah.
And Elizabeth's having a great time spilling salt all over the table here, apparently.
Yeah. And now she's talking to the deer.
And I'm sure the deer understands every single word she's saying, too.
Yeah. And we get this guy.
Oh, he's a beauty.
Yeah, he's talking about. And that guy there is played by Charles Tyner or Tyner. No, wait, no, that's Graham Foster. This is the Game Warden. I'm guessing would that be Charlie?
I believe so, yes.
He's played by Todd Miller. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Charles Tynier is Graham Foster, which I'm going to look up more stuff with him in it.
He did a lot of television shows. I believe he's in Rifleman for an episode or two. He was a featured, what you'd call an antagonist in Touched by an Angel.
Okay. And Scurvy says, on an unrelated note, how long does it take? Does a name change last before I could change it back? Is it 30 days? Nope. For Antidrew Spartacus, which it took her 2 weeks to change it back. 2 weeks.
Yeah, Jill learned the hard way. Don't change your name too many times, because once you go past that limit, you're done for a few weeks.
Oh, I thought it was you could change it every 2 weeks, but
I think
guess you
Jill
can
had it
change it a
longer
couple
than that. I know
no,
Jill
it's
was
2 weeks.
okay. Jill was, I think, a little bit surprised and a little bit annoyed that she got stuck with the Spartacus label because everybody started calling her Spartacus, which is pretty funny, actually.
Which reminds me, I have to do that again. Though I just tell her, though I tell her like today I had to tell her things for breakfast.
I remember that. Yes, I remember you saying that in the chat.
Yeah.
That was a
Send him
great
up on the
stream this
mountain.
morning, actually.
He was alone and scared, but he's okay now.
Erin, I'm sorry. The warden tells me it's illegal for a private person to keep a deer.
Now, do you think they called the warden or the warden just showed up?
I get a feeling that the family had enough of Erin, coddling this wildlife animal, and they figured for her own good, she must learn that, wildlife is not a pet, so it has to, go back to where it belongs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think somebody in the family called him.
I'm afraid that's right.
I think I don't know if if it was brilliant or if the writers just got lazy and didn't want to explain it, because I would have had Erin ask, why is it illegal?
It was the 70s. You weren't allowed to ask those type of questions.
You mean the 30s?
It was written in the 70s.
Yeah.
All the counterculture stuff was well and good, but if you're in something like TV, you know what lines not to cross, and asking stuff like, why does the government do something, is a quick way to get the censors on your ass.
Okay,
Well,
so maybe that.
The thing is, back then in the 30s, people pretty much bowed down to any authority figure, so it's believable, I guess. And I think even today it's illegal to keep a wild animal as a pet, if I'm not mistaken. At least
Yeah, but we'd ask them if they told us we had to turn it loose. Go, why? Because really, he could find the family there. If it's illegal there, he could really just find the family there. They're oblivion, but he's being awfully nice,
Well, I think he just wants
Back
to do
then,
his
it wouldn't have
job.
been a fine. He would have just taken the deer by force.
Oh,
I think he just wants to do his job without, with the minimum amount of hassle, basically.
yeah. And also, it's one of those. You be polite to me. You've been polite to me, so I'll be polite to you. That's where some of these people don't understand. Like, in the last 10 years, the last 10 years, I've been pulled over numerous times, mostly because of speed and that there. But I've only got.
I told you have to keep it under 100.
Hey, I was. Like, I'd be going like 65 in a 55, or there was one day, the one that there I still had my get out of a ticket free bracelet on there the day after my daughter was born, and I was actually going about 65 in a 35 there, but it was coming up on the 45 there. And I was supposed to be over there. He goes, you know what I pulled you? He goes, yeah. Oh, I'm glad to see you whipped your seatbelt on too, real quick. So he noticed
Oh,
I put
jeez.
my seatbelt. He noticed I put my seatbelt belt on. And go. I told him, "Go, hey, I've gotten 2 hours of sleep. My daughter was just born late last night. My dumbass there texted the family there, and right at 6 o'clock this morning, my phone just starts going off like crazy with with the whole family talking there. No, I'm just trying to get to work on an hour's sleep. And he's like, just keep your foot off the accelerator and keep that seatbelt on. And congratulations on your daughter.
No, he's a
I,
good cop.
so I'm one of the few people that can get away with a warning going 25 miles an hour over the speed limit.
Well, I think it had a lot to do with it. Your daughter was just born. That probably had a lot to do with it.
And the key to a lot of this is just be polite with this. A lot of the cops, they'll work with you. There's the one there, the cop. If I was to dick to him when I didn't realize my insurance didn't automatically renew because I was $5 short on my account from the
Oh shit!
paying the 6 months because
Oh no!
I had my insurance set up to automatically renew. I thought it'd automatically do the 1 month, if I did not have if it didn't pull the. Well, it's $5 short on the full 6 months, so it did not automatically renew it. It lapsed my insurance there when I got pulled over the next day.
Oh no!
But I was
Talk
polite to
about
the
timing.
cop. I was polite to the cop. He goes, "Hey, just get this fixed and all that blah 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 blah." And he gave me a no insurance ticket, but he said he could have hit me for seatbelt, speed, having headphones in, blah blah blah. He could have hit me with multiple tickets, but no, I was polite to him. Then I just went to the courthouse. I talked nicely to the prosecutor, and all I had to do was pay a $200 fine, which I could stretch out to over a year. That's like $10 a month.
That's
There,
not
because
bad.
I got the insurance fixed right away. Provide proof of insurance for 6 months. There, stay law abiding for a year, and none of this would have gone on my driving record.
Good stuff.
So, the whole key to all this is politeness, and they'll work with you on the politeness there. But because I applied out to the prosecutor, go ahead and find me the. I was like, all I'm worried about is I cannot lose my license because of blah 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 reasons. So they made it so that I didn't lose my license, and it was a first time offense. So they pretty much just gave me a slap on the wrist. I couldn't have asked for a better plea deal.
Lucky thing. Yeah, I have it set up so I automatically have a payment come out every month. Yeah, it's not that huge an amount. So if you spread it out over 12 months, it's much less painful. Because I used to do it like, pay it like once a year, and that was a huge chunk of change, right? So now I
Yeah.
just spread it out, over 12 payments, and it's much
Yeah.
less painless, more painless, I should say.
All right, so
You just wait till my daddy gets home.
It's the law, Erin. Your daddy nor nobody else can interfere.
yeah, it's funny because we've heard this a couple of times there. You just wait till my daddy gets home. Yeah, well, he'll let your daddy get home, I guess.
Yeah, who you think called the warden in the first place?
Yeah, and then now he's talking to his mom about it. He's gonna, and here's a good scene. Like John Boy wants to quit, but he doesn't want to be a quitter. There's only one job I quit, and they flat out knew I hated the job, and I told them I was getting a job that's 25 miles closer to home. So then it paid a lot more. It paid more, so they totally understood that it was just a temps job anyhow.
Yeah, when I was going to college, I had some of those crappy summer jobs, and I remember there was one where you go to the office every morning and pick up these vouchers because it was like you go door to door trying to get people to sign up for these store credit card things, and it was a real pain in the ass job. I mean, I had success for a while, but after a while, you get a backlog of addresses. You go there, you ring the doorbell. Nobody's ever at home, or they never answer their door. So I remember one day I go in and my boss is like, "Well, you've got like dozens of these," and it's like, "Yeah, I've gone back there." numerous times, but nobody ever answers the door. And she's like, well, until you get these cleaned up, we're not going to give you any more. So I looked right in her face and I said, you know what? I don't think this is really a great job anyway. I quit and walked out. That's the only time I ever did anything that abrupt job wise. But it was just like one of those crappy summer jobs. I think I lasted 2 months. And after that, I was like, enough of this.
Yeah. And Screwy here says they went on easy on you because you have no opposable thumbs. Yeah.
Oh, my.
Then here we got Erin pouting in here. And mother comes up, brings her quilt. And she thinks that something will happen to him. And Mama's trying to... But this ain't the scene I want to play. I want to play the scene with Grandma. Yeah. Oh, wait, this ain't it. So, yeah. So, Mr. Hennessey's coming today. Trying to call Erin out. They're going to go talk to her mom. They're going to... So Jason and Ben here are going to go get some licorice from Ben. Oh, right here.
On time, too. Define a punctual man in these parts. So,
Well, I heard that the farther south you go, like, especially if you get way down south there, you got to tell the people to be there half an hour earlier than what you want them to be there, just so they're on time.
That's just Florida.
Oh, I thought it was more Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama, Louisiana.
And well, from what I've known in Texas, it's unless you're 15 minutes early, you're late. And if you're 15 minutes late, you're fired.
Yeah.
It never hurts to arrive a bit early for sure.
Yeah.
how'd you do with the job?
No, sir.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just let him judge it. Put no input in.
What have we here? A handwritten report. I'm impressed.
Now, was he being sarcastic or serious on that?
It's hard to tell with this guy.
Yeah.
I think his natural state of being is to be sarcastic, actually.
Yeah. He is a little bit sarcastic, but in all honesty, he was impressed.
Yeah.
He doesn't stay impressed for very long, though.
Yeah.
Rents due, rents collected. Agent's commission. Mustn't forget that.
Oh, yeah, right.
Recommendation.
And right there, the recommendations pissed him off.
Yeah, it's like, fix that damn roof. And he's like, no, I'm not going to spend a penny on that.
Yeah.
All right. I've read the figures. Now where's my cash?
That's all he cares about.
There's $190 there.
$190.
So $190 was I believe that was $4,353.35.
That's a lot of money considering the properties he's renting out are crapola.
Yeah, I don't know how many. I don't know how many properties he had him go to.
Where's the rest of it?
That's all of it.
That is not all of it. There's $208 due me.
So $208. So basically, he's just missing $300.
I think he meant total amount was 208, maybe.
Yeah.
And John
Yeah.
Boy gave him 190.
So
He's
yeah,
missing 18.
So he's
So-
like $18 short, and he's freaking out over $18 short. Like, really?
yeah, that's 18. So yeah, he's flipping out over pretty much $400.
Yeah.
You're $18 short. Sir, this is all itemized in the list here.
The point is, you're $18 short in your collections.
Well, Mr. Oswell says that the rents are too high compared with other.
I don't think this guy gives a shit. He's not listening. He only wants his damn money. I don't even think he actually read the list.
He's a greedy SOB.
Of course not.
Basically. It's all
The
about the
prices?
money.
And Mrs. Crawford wouldn't even give me a penny till I had the roof fixed.
I'm not interested in excuses. I contracted with you to collect all my rents.
It's not a written contract. It's a verbal one. It's not legally binding.
Doesn't matter if it was written or not. He's still legally responsible
How come you
for
got a new tenant for this?
stuff like the roofs.
No, I'm talking about with John Boy there. John Boy and this bastard.
Yeah.
So I've
The
shown
thing
He
is,
can't bitch about the money because if there's damage on those properties, they're not liable for the rent.
Well, the
And
thing
John
is,
Boy
though,
wouldn't have standing to collect from them, even in the 30s.
the thing is, here in Vancouver, there's some notorious slumlord hotels down on the gas town, the east side of Vancouver, that are notoriously in horrible condition, full of bugs, and the pipes don't work and the heat don't work, and yet these scummy slumlords have been operating these hotels for decades, and they never get shut down, and the tenants still have to keep paying their rents. It's I don't know if they've ever fixed it now, but I remember decades ago it was pretty awful.
Well, that's because they're probably bribing your politicians, and they know that the people can't afford to sue them.
Why the city never cracked
Right.
down on it with their bylaw enforcement is beyond me, but I remember this. There was especially one notorious hotel that it went on forever, basically.
Because then they wouldn't get their money for the campaigns. That's why they didn't crack down on it.
Yeah. And the inspector that comes by every year, he gets a little grease. And he said, "Oh, yeah, this place is up to snuff. You don't have any standing to sue."
But no one's going
Especially if you're on
rent it.
assistance. If you're on assistance, they come by every 6 months. And the landlord, and whatever's wrong with it, the landlord has to pay out, say, "Oh, yeah, this place is up to snuff," or else, because if they fail enough of those, they lose the legal right to rent out property.
until it's fixed up some.
Like the Tennyson's chimney and the Crawford's roof.
Yes, sir.
You do a better job telling me how to spend my money than you do collecting it.
I think you can spend $6 to fix the roof there, which is spoiler, $137 than today's money.
He's just greedy. That's all there is to it. He doesn't care about anybody except his own. All he cares about is his bank account.
Yeah.
Mr. Foster, as your agent, I felt I had some responsibility to the tenants.
I'm not operating a charity.
You're not operating a business either.
Yeah.
He's a crook, basically.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in you, son.
No, really, does that really mean anything when you hate the fucking person that they're disappointed in you? I mean, it hurts a lot when it comes from like your parents when they tell you, "I'm disappointed in you now, son." That hurts. Well, this guy here, I'd be like, I don't fucking care.
I'd be
Yeah.
actually.
This is
probably
just a practice speech.
I'd take it as a compliment if this guy was disappointed in me, because I would think I've actually done something honorable, probably.
Yeah.
Sir, I did my best.
It's not good enough. Not nearly. I hoped you might be different. But it's plain you're your daddy's son.
Great line.
Yeah. So he's just as plain as. Yeah, you can tell he's John.
Yeah, that's when I think it hits home to John Boy that exactly what this guy is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, I am. I'm proud of the fact, too.
The Walton pride. Very poor collateral, if you ask me.
Actually, I think it's very good collateral, actually.
Yeah, he doesn't understand that pride has something to do with having integrity, but of course he has none, so he doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
I'll have to find someone else.
I'd like my wages, sir.
You didn't earn any wages.
I collected $190, sir. 5% of $190 is $9.50. I'd like my wages.
You were short $18. Now take away the $9.50 you claim. By my calculations, you still owe me $8.50.
I want my wages, sir.
You didn't fulfill the contract. So, I don't owe you a cent.
And I think he knew exactly what was going to happen, too, so that's why he hired him.
Yeah. He just hired John Boy like a sucker just to go out and do the dirty work, and he knew that John Boy would never be able to collect the full rents from people living in these dilapidated, crap hole, homes. So he probably knew all along he was never intentionally going to pay him his wage.
Yeah. Yeah, he just whispered. Now this is a sign. Your daddy's always right. I always love it when the kids try to say you don't know nothing. You've never had to go through something similar, like when you're their age or something.
Yeah, but that's not what happened here. John gave him the facts, let him make his own decision, and it wasn't within John's power to stop him, so he just gave him all he could, and it's up to John Boy to take the risk. And he knew what he was getting into.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Boy had a good life lesson here.
Yeah.
To your father? Go right on listening to John Walton, and you'll end up just like him.
John Walton owns more of that county than you do, and he's the de facto mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and John Walton has the respect of everybody in the county, which this scumbag has none of that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it would have been more satisfying if you would just knock this bastard out. I think that would have been more satisfying. And don't tell me they couldn't have done this to the family hour, because we've seen him punch people before in this show. Now he just storms off. So I would have just had him punch the fucker.
That wouldn't have solved anything. And it would have made the end of the show pointless.
Oh, I suppose so.
I just thought overturning the table was pretty good anyway.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was pretty good, but I still wanted to see this guy punched, knocked out.
He's kind of got one of those faces that you want to punch, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, and here's the other scene I wanted to show.
Oh, here we go.
Erin?
So now it's Grandma's turn to cheer her up.
You feeling sorry for that deer for yourself?
Please leave me alone, Grandma. I'm not bothering anyone.
You bothering me?
Now that there was good. Like this shows like the real grandma. This kind of reminds me of my grandma. If something's bothering the grandkids, it bothers her.
Feeling sorry for yourself is just a waste of time. Believe me, time's too precious to waste.
That's good. That's good dialogue.
Yeah, that right there. Yeah, you don't get writing like that, you know. Yeah, don't sit around moping and all that. That just do something.
Well, it's true. Feeling sorry for yourself won't get you anywhere, right? I mean, if you got a reason to feel
Yeah.
sorry, then maybe there's something you need to work on more to fix it, right?
So she's making her.
Just can't stop thinking about him going away.
Up a chance.
Or maybe.
You keep busy.
I think Grandma knows what to do.
I still think Erin's
So yeah,
moping is
that was a
is
great
getting to.
moment between her and Grandpa.
Yeah, that was very good scene. But I mean, by this point, Erin's moping around is getting,
So now,
at least to me, it's getting tiresome. It's like, come on, Erin, snap out of it.
well, it's only been like a day or so.
Yeah, but
And
still,
here they
she's
try to come
just
cheer her up, so they were here.
she's so
Yeah.
fixated on
What
the
was that?
deer, though. It's just I don't know. I just found it a bit strange after a while. It's like, look, it's a wild animal. You got to let it go, Erin. You know.
Oh, kids have been attached. Heck, we were in this situation too. Only ours was a raccoon, though that
No, jeez.
sprained its foot. So we actually nursed it back to health there. You know, when we got told we had
Really?
to release it. Only our story ended a little bit differently. We nursed it all back there after a couple days. We set it loose. It bolted out. It bolted out of its cage, ran right on the road about the time someone was driving past.
So it didn't end well.
No, it did not end well.
Oh, jeez. Well, that's a very dark story.
Yeah,
I don't think, thankfully, we didn't see that in this episode, but oh well.
yeah. This had a lot happier ending than what mine did.
Oh, boy.
But you never brought
Oh,
the
man.
wild animals home to nurse back to health?
No, I've never actually had a wild animal. I've always lived in cities, so it's not like there's a lot of wild animals hanging around here.
Oh, what about you, Germ?
I think a germ's
Or
away
Daniel?
for a minute. Looks
Or
like
Daniel,
Daniel's
you
away
ever do
too.
that?
Daniel's muted, it looks like.
Yeah. Here he comes with the cage to take the deer. He's got.
Okay, you were saying something?
Yeah, did you ever take a wild animal home to take it to nurse back to health? I don't know if you heard my
No.
story.
Yeah, I heard most of it.
Yeah. Do we have any chats? Nope.
like
No,
that.
we were taught not to mess with the wildlife and leave them to their fate.
Well, we were being nice to the raccoon. Only, I think as a good lesson of, we did more harm than good. Because it might still have been alive if we would have just left it alone.
Yeah, the raccoons around here are more for BB gun practice. Keep them out of the trash.
Yeah. And here we got Erin saying you can't. But she brings them out anyhow. Oh, here we go. This is another scene I wanted to show. This is some good background music too.
Oh, yeah, they use it often enough.
Yeah, like I'm really liking the background music. And here's another John Boy and John famous conversation there. That's always pretty damn good.
Erin won't come out of her room, which the kids won't eat. You haven't said a word since you got home.
I'm sorry, I just got a lot on my mind. You certainly were right about Graham Foster.
Was it bad, son?
It's terrible.
Still working for him?
What do you think? Yeah, at least John's not yelling or doing the "I told you so." He's actually having nice, genuine conversation about it.
Nope. He fired me.
Did he pay you?
No, he never intended to.
Yeah, you notice he has that disappointed laugh. I've noticed this in a couple episodes where he's really sad and disappointed. He'll do this like little half laugh. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Yeah.
I actually really like that line though when John Boyce figured out he never intended to pay him. It's like he's totally figured out this character's method of operating is to just screw people over.
Yeah, it took him long enough to figure it out, though.
Yeah, well, he's still young, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Daddy, when you're right, you're right.
And right, this case doesn't give me any pleasure, son. You want me to have a talk with him?
By that, he means I'll talk with him with the shotgun in my hand.
That would have been
He'll
good.
have his old-
I wish they'd actually had that scene. That might have been fun.
With John with the shotgun in his hand talking to Graham Foster.
It could have been entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm sure John would have enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to do anything. I made a fool out of myself today, and I know that now.
Graham Foster's real good at making people feel foolish, son.
Yeah, well, he taught me a lot. I'm gonna see if I can't take some of what I learned and use it to get what's due me.
If you need my help, you just let me know.
Yeah, I'll start polishing that shotgun right now. I want it nice and shiny for when you need me. No, but yeah, this is a great life lesson for John Boy there, where he's transitioning out of being that naive little boy into learning that the world is a cruel place, or or would it be a cruel mistress? Or I can't remember what the exact saying is. Like there's something's a cruel mistress.
Fate.
Oh, fate's a cruel mistress.
Yeah, I think that might be the saying, actually.
Yeah. So you go right there. And Erin's dreaming that something bad happening to old Lancelot. So she goes and wakes up the parents. Good thing they weren't trying for child number 8 at the time when she goes storming into their bedroom.
They should really get that'd
be a memory she wouldn't forget. Get there if they're going for child number 8 at the moment.
Yeah, she wouldn't be thinking about the deer anymore.
She'd be like thinking like the kid in F is for Family there when he sees him, when he's hiding under his parents' bed there and he sees them going at it. Oh man,
yeah, you'd think with so many kids they would have actually put a lock on the door eventually, right? Like once the kids were getting older, but oh well.
Well, there might be a lock on the door, but it's those old skeleton keys. So yeah, I can't go look for him. So so him and they have Charlie Hennessey there. Yeah. Also, yeah, that'd be Charlie there. So he goes and has them. They're gonna go look for Lance. They're gonna. So go talk to him in the morning. So here now we see the deer. Then we got these two scumbags here, and they're like, "It's just a fawn. It'll give you the same type of meat." And they're lucky they didn't get scraped by stray shotgun rounds. Those little balls there, because not every single one of them went in. I don't think a single one actually went into the deer.
I think the deer got grazed, actually.
Well, it got grazed, but not one went in. So those two guys get arrested there. Lance is okay. They bring him back to now. Apparently, yeah, they made him give up their, give him their right.
Yeah, what did he say? You won't be using these for a while or something?
You won't be using them for a while. Come on.
Yeah.
So basically, they'll just get a fine and their guns confiscated.
Oh yeah.
For the war effort.
They knew
So
they
here
were
they're
doing something wrong, though.
Yeah, they're so they're nice, right? They're all happy that they caught the poachers and stuff. So right here, there's no.
I think I got an idea how I can.
So right.
Come in soon, honey.
There's
Get
a
cleaned
shot
up.
here I wanted to show.
Daddy,
What?
I think I got an idea how I can get what's due me.
Is it a good
Right
idea?
there, this is a good shot there where he's just sitting there talking through the back of the truck there and having their conversation.
That's another interesting directorial choice by Ralph Waite as far as camera angles. That's really cool, actually.
Yeah. And why does it keep saying Stream Elements is running?
Because
This
Stream
is keep-
Elements is having a nervous breakdown.
Some of it, maybe it's trying to annoy me for that comment I made earlier that I had to apologize for.
Jason seems to think so. If it's all right with you, I'd like to borrow him and the truck for a couple hours.
Got it.
John there knows something. John Boy has something up his sleeve, but he doesn't know quite what yet. So basically,
Of
they
course,
go.
he taught the boy well.
So they go and get the tar, the shingles, or whatever they used back then, and lumber. And she's shocked. She goes, "I never thought he'd fix the roof." We go, "Yeah, he's good for his word." And this is probably the best. Wait, you can't believe this is the actual place there because it's not dilapidated.
Except for the roof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they figured.
Actually,
They thought they had.
I got one question. How did John Boy get the money to buy the roofing materials?
I'm sure Ike gave it to him on the idea that he was going to collect the rent.
So Ike has roofing materials at his general store. Okay.
Ike has everything.
Yeah, no, the whole
I
thing.
can see Ike giving him credit.
The small community. You probably go, "Hey, Ike, I'm gonna go fuck over Graham Foster. Can you help me with some roofing materials?" And
Ike
probably gave it to him.
He probably donated it for free when he heard that, right?
Yeah. There's your background information for the episode.
It's like revenge.
No, he probably wouldn't explain the situation to him, and either I gladly donated it, or he gave it to him on promise to pay, an IOU, pretty much, or credit.
Yeah, I think I did do that some episodes. Yeah.
Well, he did offer it a few episodes there, but
Yeah.
no, this is the idea. He knows John Boy. He knows John Boy's going to be good for the money. He just doesn't have it right over the head, but he'll get it to him soon.
Gonna have a new roof.
Yeah. So basically, they fix it up there. They thought, and he promises to take him to the state game thing where he'll get Pat Lacey. Where the deer. And she could go visit them, but she decides to let him loose into the wild. I'm not going to play the scene because I want to save the rest. Right here.
Come on, son. I'm in a hurry.
I'd like to talk to you for just a minute, sir.
Well, if you're back to ask for money, don't waste your time.
I did a pretty foolish thing the other day. I know that.
If you're going to get ahead in the world, you're going to have to find a better way to turn the tables on someone.
Well, technically, he did turn the table on him.
Actually, he literally turned the table on him.
That's some damn good writing there, where it technically has three different meanings. where he thinks
Yeah.
you gotta learn how to fuck people over. John Boy literally turned the table over on him, and now he's turning the table over on him by screwing him over.
I think I may have found a way, sir. Got a little something for you here.
What's that?
$1.83. I collected the Crawfords' rent. I spent $6.67 for roofing, nails, and pitch for their new roof.
You had no right to spend that money.
And I deducted $9.50 for my work as your agent. That left a balance of $1.83.
So the $9.50. I'm trying to figure out what her rent was. So you had $6.637 plus 9.50 plus 1.83. So her rent was $18, so it was $416 or something like that in today's money.
Well, that was the $18 short earlier in the episode, I think, right?
No, he was short. Also, they screwed.
It would have been $19.86.
No, they screwed. But they screwed up on their math then because the one guy only paid him $9 out of like the 18 or whatever. He only paid half the rent, and then she won't pay her rent there.
I'm
so
sure
that's
rents aren't all the same.
Maybe her rent was less, perhaps.
No, but I was going by the math he just gave. The $667 for the roofing materials there. The $950 he owed him, plus and he just gave him $1.83. So I was going by
how
that.
How much did that come out? How much does that add up to?
$18. But the other guy only paid half the money there.
That factors into the 190.
Okay, but he was still short.
That adds into the short adds into the original $18.
Okay. Well, this gal here refused to pay the entire rent. She wouldn't give him a penny. That's 18. So it's really, it should have been $27 short from what we got in dialogue, let alone the others who didn't fully pay.
Well, yeah, they did forget that part.
Yeah, there's slight mathematical errors in this episode, but it's forgivable. And this guy does not know what to do. He's never been screwed over like that before. Or it's actually going to help him in the long run.
And I had you figured for a woolly lamb.
Well, I think I aged considerable working for you, sir.
Well, now, was that a compliment or an insult?
Yes.
PvP? Oh, PvP must have had to step away.
I might just give you another chance. Now that you know the ropes.
Well, I'd like to take you up on it, sir, but I wouldn't want to get myself hung.
That right there, this is what gives it my automatic A for the episode.
Smart move.
Thanks all the same.
Right there. He goes, now that he knows the ropes, he'll give him another chance. He goes, he does not want to be hung by those ropes. Brilliant writing right there. Then John, he's telling John the story. He's quite impressed. John's all impressed. I think she's going to write a story about the deer. Now we're getting the rest here. John's trying to cheer her up. PvP, you're back.
Yep. I was just grabbing a cold beer out of the fridge.
Oh, you missed the best line of the whole episode,
Oh shit.
where John Boy says he didn't want to be hot. Where he says now he knows the ropes, he'll give him a second chance there. And John Boy says, "I don't think I want to be hung."
I remember that. That was a good line. Yeah.
That's my automatic A for the episode.
Yeah, there's nothing like working for a crappy boss. I've had a few of those in the past, and it's like never going to make that mistake again.
Yeah.
Mr. Hennessey?
Now, is this the guy who created Hennessey whiskey?
Do you think
He'd have to be a hell of a lot older than that.
Maybe his father did.
Or to be free in the forest?
I don't know, Erin. It's hard to say. They do get awful fat and lazy in those parks. You seem happy enough, though.
Fantasyland's up in the park would be the best thing for me, because I know I'd be safe, well fed, and maybe I could go see him sometime.
Yeah, this was kind of an interesting scene. I wasn't sure how to feel about it.
Well, I guess Grandpa's little talk with her in the barn kind of, made her realize that maybe the best thing for a wild animal was to be in the wild.
Yeah.
As it was meant to be.
I think that can be arranged.
But I don't think that would be the best thing for Lance. I want him to go free.
There's a famous Grandpa smile.
There you go. Grandpa's going, I taught her well.
I like to set Lance free all by myself, please.
All right, Erin.
Most game wardens wouldn't trust him to do that, But no,
well, like everybody
else. That's okay. Bring the girl, bring Zeb along, and it'll be all well and controlled.
Yeah, it seems like most people in Walton's mountains are pretty easygoing, so I can believe it. And then the weird kid shows up at the end.
Somehow he knew exactly where she was and brings her flowers. Like he wasn't stalking her the whole time.
Yeah, really, eh? That
So
did seem a bit strange.
they're a thing. All right, so now we're on to our epilogue.
I'll give the kid one thing: he is persistent.
Yeah. Epilogue: my sister Erin gave Lance his freedom, and he took it gratefully. We never did see him again. Although 2 years later, we did glimpse a doe and a fawn. The little one looked so much like Lance, we told ourselves that it must be his son. Erin decided to give boys another chance, and if Harold Beasley wasn't exactly a knight in shining armor, he was devoted and persistent. I never regretted my brief fling as a man of business. When I'm reminded of from time to time of the lessons Graham Foster taught me, memory carries me back to the Depression time and the voices of my family. Alrighty. Final thoughts, Germ.
The episode ran a little long for me.
Little long?
Yeah, it felt a little long. So I'm going to have to downgrade it a bit to a B+.
Okay. All right. And what do you got going on?
Well, tomorrow we got Street Sharks for Saturday morning cartoons. And this coming Thursday, we'll have a sci-fi Thursday talking about the end of Ahsoka and the beginning of Quantum Leap Season 2.
Alrighty. I'll try to be there. Oh, I got my daughter tomorrow, so I'll try to be at Saturday morning cartoons. Alrighty. I actually have to do this a different way. Okay, so PvP. What's your final thoughts?
For me, I found the John Boy's B story to be more intriguing and entertaining than the A story with Erin and the Fawn. I just thought the stuff with Erin and the Fawn to me felt like it was really drawn out. It's like a lot of padding. There really wasn't a lot going on. I mean, it was basically Erin and many scenes, moping around. So that didn't really grab me too much, to be honest. Yeah, I just did not think this was top level Waltons by any stretch for myself. I'd probably give it maybe. Oh, I really can't give it that higher rating because other than the John Boy story was good. So basically, mostly for the John Boy plot line, I'll probably give it a C plus. But it was not one of my favorite Waltons, to be honest, guys.
Oh, we got a whole range. And what do you got going on?
Nothing much. Just working on my rock and roll channel bit by bit, but I haven't put much into it lately. So not a whole lot going on YouTube at the moment, actually, Gorilla.
Okay. Sounds good. And Daniel, are you here? Daniel? Oh, he must have stepped away. So, as for me, I actually really enjoyed this episode here. The John Boy sign was great there. There where he learns the lesson that people, if they give you a chance to screw you over, they will. They will, and he gets them back, at the end there with the brilliant line that he doesn't want to get hung by the same ropes that Graham Rouse. He's learning the ropes. He doesn't want to be hung by them. It was a brilliant line, and Grandma had a brilliant line with time and all that stuff there that I really, and the Erin story was actually pretty good. And she wasn't insufferable this episode, but yes, it did go a little bit long, and they probably did overdo it a little bit, and took the moping a little bit long, But I'm not going to detract it from the episode. I'm going to give this a solid A. Yeah. As for me, I'm going to try to do Babylon 5 on Saturday there at 6 o'clock. But, it's popcorn kickoff, so we're doing our popcorn sale. So I'm going to try to be back in time for that tomorrow. As for Sunday at 6 o'clock for sure. I believe Netter said she'll be there, her and Troy. We will be doing the Poltergeist movie watch party. So, and I believe, I'm not sure which one Netter is in. She told me in a message here on X. Or on, yeah, I think she said she's in the first Poltergeist movie, so yeah, we have that. We should have Justified on next Wednesday there. I'm trying to get schedules worked out right now, so yeah, so and then our next Waltons episode is actually the Thanksgiving story, which is that one's going to be a long episode because it's the Thanksgiving story. And it was a 2-hour TV movie. So we got that. That's our Thanksgiving special. So, alrighty. I guess with that, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you Lemon Pie, aka Scurvy, for coming. Thank you, Cody Guy, for coming. And thank you to everybody on the rewatch. And also thank you, Suzanne Exting, for coming. Alrighty. With that, I'm going to end it. You guys have a good night. And remember to be a girl.